I'm Zoo, and you're watching the Always Swimming channel.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my version of what Halle Bailey will look like as Ariel. Now, when I made this video, she had just been announced. It was very exciting. Um, People are racist, but this cast it's kind of all over the place. Basically, I touched that racist thing very briefly. Don't worry, we'll come back. Um, when I like to do sims that are based off of people, it kind of takes me a few days because you really have to kind of take back and you have to step away from it and go and look at it with fresh eyes because you will see a whole lot of things that you need to change. That's what I did. So I'll tell you when it switches over to my recent tweaks because I had posted pictures and I thought she looked like Dove Cameron, and that is not what I wanted to do at all. We are going with Halle Bailey. If I say Halle Berry, blame Thomas. He was like, it's Halle Berry, I promise. But no, it is not. We have our first ever, not first ever, that's an exaggeration. Our newest Little Mermaid, Ariel, is going to be played by Halle Berry. She's 19. I don't know why I'm giving you a biography of her life. She's gorgeous. I hope I did her justice in any sort of way. She is very itty bitty, which I tried to make as realistic as possible. I went off of a bunch of mostly runway, like red carpet stuff, because that's not edited, but she didn't have a single photo of her from the side. So trying to get her nose was it was the hardest thing to do, you know? But I'm actually really happy with it in the end. Um, my monitor that I use is super bright, like super bright, and I had a hard time picking skin tone as well, so I'm like looking at it back. It looks correct. And I'm changing it. Why do I not have mods in? Who knows? Who cares? I do. Let's talk about the importance of having more diverse characters. Growing up, I am a white female. I have never had to look at something and go, oh, I don't feel represented at all. When I was a child, I wanted someone with glasses, but like that's not the same thing at all. I have always had representation in film, media, TV, books, everything. I will never ever not have representation. It took 50 something years for Disney to make a black princess, and we have one. There's about 1,000 white princesses. And listen, Disney is like one of my all-time favorite things. Little Mermaid is actually my second favorite Disney movie after Beauty and the Beast. Brown hair, brown eyes. You see me there. But I think it is so important that we start to broaden our horizons. And it's not for us. It's not for me. You know what I mean? Like they did this for little girls everywhere who are born black. That sounded so stupid coming out of my mouth. But who are born different and finally get to go to the movies and see someone who looks like them. That is so important. If you look at any sort of media ever, you're like, oh, there's a lot of white people. Cool. I'm represented here. Kids growing up who are diverse don't really see themselves. We have one black princess. We have one Asian princess. Pocahontas is Native American. Jasmine is Middle Eastern, and obviously Mulan is Asian. That's it. And Moana. Moana is a happy new addition. Those are it. Do you know how many other princesses we have that I can count off the top of my head? Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Belle, Ariel. You've got both of the girls in Frozen. You have. There's so many that I'm forgetting. This is so uncomfortable. Lots. I've named 6 off the top of my head. And there are 5 princesses of color total, I think. So this is giving such a great opportunity to kind of show that Disney is more than just paste and skin. Sorry, I'm trying to. I feel like it's very important that this is happening. It is important. It's not. I feel it is. And it's so exciting for little girls to go and be able to see someone that looks like them. And I know people are freaking out. They're like, oh my god, if she doesn't have red hair, who fucking cares? That red hair that she has in the movie is disgusting. It's a really nasty red, and it's not realistic. Guess what? People are pulling up the fact that she's Dutch. Since when has she been Dutch? You know, like that's so. People would not bring that up if she was white. Dutch. There are black people, like in the Netherlands. I don't understand why that's a problem. A mermaid is a fish. It is a fictional being. Mermaids do not exist. Fingers crossed they do, but they don't. So why are people so aggravated against this? I think people who are very close-minded and have never had to look for diversity see this as a, oh my god, this doesn't match the cartoon. This is what I grew up with. I am dead set with this. This is who she is. This is what she looks like. This is how she sounds. This is how she looks. Everything. They're so stuck on this idea. And that is just not how it always is. And I know people like to bring up, well, what if we made Tiana white? Well, first off, being black is such an important part in Tiana's story. It is, her culture is so in it. It is based on her being black and how she has had to overcome the prejudice that comes with it. She doesn't get funding for her restaurant because of this. She has to work her way from the grounds up because the people judge her on the color of her skin. That is not, like, that does not happen in the Little Mermaid. Do you know what the story of the Little Mermaid is? She's a girl that falls in love with a human and gives away her voice to become a human. Did I mention culture, or skin tone, or anything background that supports that? No. Snow White. She's a beautiful girl whose stepmom tries to kill her. Does it have anything to do with her being white? No. Moana, which is the story of a girl who is going to be the leader of her people, and she leaves to go and find this demigod to try to bring, what is it? I haven't seen Moana in a long time, but that is rooted in culture. Pocahontas is a Native American back in the time where people, like, colonization was happening. Her people were being murdered. Pocahontas is a real person. She was a child, and that is part of her story. Mulan happens. She steps in her father's place because he is too old to act in the war. That is rooted in her culture. As someone who is Asian, she is but she is supposed to be the perfect wife and so pretty and dolled up, but that's not who she is. Jasmine, she's the daughter of a sultan. She lives in the Middle East, and she is just a girl dying to figure out life because she's never experienced it beyond the walls. All of those stories are rooted in culture that goes beyond what you and I see. It's just important. Sleeping Beauty, a girl that plucks her finger and falls into a sleep. That does not have anything to do with her or her people. Do you see what I mean? It's 1:30 in the morning and I'm like passionately talking about this. I just think it's ridiculous. If you don't like this version, there's always the cartoon. The cartoon has sequels. I mean, hello, Melody, great child that she has. You could always go back to that. You can read the original stories, which are German, probably, because all those story tales are originated, not all of them, but most Disney ones are started in Germany. So, represent my people. Belle, she is somebody who she's raised by her father who's eccentric, and she takes his place as a prisoner. Is it because of her skin? Is it because of her culture? No. It's just a story about a girl who could be anyone. Could anyone be Pocahontas? and trying to teach white people that they are not savages? No, not everyone can portray that because it is deep rooted in her culture of who she is. I'm sorry this is so deep in a CAS. I changed this outfit because I thought it was too booby for a 16-year-old. 15? 16. Ariel is a baby. She's a kid. She's a teenager. And her skin tone has nothing to do with her story. Therefore, it's up to, like, you could do whatever the hell you want. I know on Broadway, not recently, but recently they had their first black Anna. They had the first black, what is her name in Wicked? Elphaba and her. She was the first time she was black. I know people were bringing up the Cinderella movie. That's not Disney. It's Roger and Hammerstein, which is the original storytellers. They did a movie that they did blind. I was like blind tasting, blind casting, meaning they did not see their faces. They just listened. So basically, the voice. But they did that for casting. So if you look at the photos, it's Cinderella is black. Her mother, I think, is Asian, and her father is white. Hold on, let me look this up. You're gonna hear me typing because, you know, please. Cinderella, Brandy, yes. And no one complained because it's a fairy tale. It's fake. Yeah, her mom was black and her dad was white, and the prince was Asian. Or not her parents, his parents. I know the story of freaking Cinderella. It worked because it was beautiful and the talent was incredible and the story these people told transcended the appearance of everybody, you know? That story is about a girl. I totally forgot to say Cinderella, but that story is about a girl who is a servant to her parents. She's not a slave. If she was a slave, that would be completely different. But she is a servant to her stepmom after her parents die. Dad die? Does he die? He goes away. Anyway, you catch my drift. It's just why, when diversity is a quote-unquote bad thing, you are the problem. I promise you. Diversity will never be a bad thing. Diversity cannot be a bad thing. Diversity makes the world go round. And that is really dumb to say, but I truly believe it. I used to make, this is not on the same playing field, but we're about to come up to me completely changing her here. It's gonna come up. She had that hair originally? Oh, I ripped that hair out. I changed it. This was today. I needed to make her eyes a little bit broader and pull out her chin because she has like such a sweet chin. I've been very into chins recently and I 100% blame her. Anyway, I used to make very white Sims all the time, only. And then I started to push myself. And now I happily make Sims of all colors. That doesn't mean I don't make white Sims. I still do. Because diversity is important in all cases. I think it's just important that we take this time to listen and not speak. If you're curious about why diversity is so important, ask. Don't be rude about it. Just be like, hey, can you tell me the first time you watched something and felt represented? That's what you ask. It is not possible to be overeducated. Reach out, ask, bring it up. Don't be embarrassed, okay? Just bring it up. And with that, we're gonna wrap up this video. I'm gonna put some photos of her outfits and of her in the sea because this gal is going under the sea. Someday I'll be part of your world. Bye!